Now, before we start adding another type of light, let's first disable all the lights in our scene. So we can see, so we can just focus on one light. So let's go to lights again. And the next light that we are going to check out is this rectangle light. So pull it in the scene, and you will see this light again has a bit different shape and has some different properties than the other lights. So first, before we do anything, let's put it to movable so we can get rid of this error here, and let's rotate it towards our character. So this light kind of simulates the effect of the light panels that you would have in a real world movie scenes. So this is really nice, and if you go into properties, you'll first see some familiar properties like intensity and attenuation radius, how far the effect goes. But then you'll see these few different uh, properties that you can also change. So source, width, and height are basically the size of the panel. So it depends on what effect you want to achieve with this. And barn door angle is, if you look at this squarish shape, you can see that there is kind of outline type geometry around the original square here. So that's basically what we change when we do the barn door angle. So we can angle it forwards, and we can also increase the length. We also have the source texture, and this is kind of what you will project with this with these slides. You can also project some textures. So let's reset it with this yellow button here. And of course, you have all the familiar options like a temperature, so you can decrease or increase the temperature. And this light also has properties for rotation and movement. So this light can be moved and also can be rotated, which gives you a lot of versatility to choose how and when to use this light basically. Now, all the lights usually have this property also that we did not cover, and that is that it casts shadows. So you can disable this if you want to have some maybe a subtle fill light and you don't want to have the whole separate dynamic shadows for that really small light. So maybe let's say this light has intensity of, let's say, 3, attenuation radius of 500, and maybe it's a bit here at the angle. Let's put it up here, and it's really not giving much light to the scene, so we don't actually need to enable shadows that might not even be visible. It will just use the computation power. Of course, if you're creating a cinematic scene, this might not be useful, but for games this can be really useful. So if you have like 5 or 10 lights in the scene, you can just disable cast shadows and save some performance. And you can see in the reflection we get this light, so it kind of reflects the panel light here. And if you change the color, you can see that the panel color also changes. So that's a really neat feature. And that's about it for this type of light. In the next tutorial, we're going to play around with all the lights that we imported so far.